January 22nd, 1879. The day spears beat rifles. Deep, urgent narration, building intensity. Fade in. The first rays of Zululand's sun pierced the veil of night, casting long shadows over a British camp sprawled like a careless giant across Isinawuna's rocky spine. It's January 22nd, 1879. 1,350 redcoats and their African allies huddle around sputtering fires, polishing Martini-Henry rifles that spit death at 1,000 yards. They're the vanguard of Queen Victoria's empire, invincible, they believe, unseen in the valleys below. 20,000 Zulu warriors stir, bare-chested, ochre-smeared, their cowhide shields etched with clan scars. King Cetshwayo has unleashed them, the horns of the buffalo, flanking horns to encircle, a massive chest to crush, loins to harry the rear. In 90 minutes, the myth of British supremacy will bleed out on African soil. 1,329 will lie dead, their wagons stripped bare. This is no dry lecture on dates and despots. This is the story of the Anglo-Zulu War. 5 months of pride, betrayal, and unbreakable that scarred a continent and humbled an empire. A tale of a king who dared say no and paid in blood. To understand the storm, rewind to the throne of blood. In 1872, Ndandakusuka Hill runs red. Cetshwayo Compand, grandson of the iron-fisted Shaka Zulu, slays his half-brother in ritual combat to claim the throne. At 50, he is no warlord tyrant, but a builder, crawls the hills like beehives. 40,000 warriors drilled in the bullhorn tactic. Shaka's genius, refined. No factories churn guns here. The Zulus favor the Ikawa, the short-stabbing spear for close work, and towering shields that turn men into walls. Cetshwayo dreams of peace with the white settlers, but whispers of diamonds in the Transvaal stoke British greed. Enter the villain of the piece, Sir Henry Bartle Frere, High Commissioner of a sun-bleached Cape colony, a pencil-mustached bureaucrat with a messiah complex. Frere sees Zululand as the keystone to a glittering federation. White farms from the Cape to Cairo, natives tamed. Border squabbles, petty cattle raids by Zulu hotheads. These become his excuses for war. He forges an ultimatum in secret, defying London. Disband your army, Cetshwayo. Surrender your borderlands. Let our missionaries preach in every hut. Pay a crippling fine in cows, and do it in 30 days. On December 11th, 1878, envoys delivered at the ultimatum tree by the Tequila River. Cetshwayo, lounging in his thatched great place, reads it aloud to roaring laughter. The talk of a fool. He thunders, tossing it aside. Messengers flee. Frere, sweating in his Cape office, cables London. War is inevitable. London dithers. Hold fire. But Frere has already lit the fuse. He summons Lord Chelmsford, a stiff-necked general fresh from India, with 18,000 troops, redcoats, artillery, rockets that scream like demons. 3 columns snake into Zululand. The Central Force crosses at Rorke's Drift on January 11th, a rickety pontoon bridge swaying under boots and howitzers. Chelmsford's journal brims with arrogance. These Zulus are no match for civilized arms. But Cetshwayo is not blind. Scouts whisper of invasion. In Ulundi's royal enclosure, the king paces. A rope of sand, these English, strong at one end, weak at the other. He summons the Amabutho, regiments by age, from bull-neck veterans to eager youths. No retreat. Wash your spears, he commands, echoing Shaka. The Zulu nation rises. Chelmsford Central Column, for 1,000 strong, pitches camp at Isinawuna, a dome-shaped hill like a watchful eye. Dawn January 22nd. Scouts spot dust clouds. Zulus? Chelmsford scoffs, splits his force, and marches east with half his men to chase phantoms, leaving 1,350 behind under Colonel Henry Puliine. No wagon circle, no fort, just tents flapping in the breeze. From the Ngweni Valley, Nchinweyo Kamaho Koza, Cetshwayo's grizzled commander unleashes hell. 20,000 warriors melt from the earth. Left horn under Prince Godide sweeps wide. Right under Prince Dabalamanzi feints and flanks. The chest smashes the center. It is Shaka's tactic perfected. Mobility over machinery. The black tide surges forward. At 11 a.m., Pulian sees them, a wall 3 miles wide. Prepared to fend. Rifles bark, mowing down the front ranks. 400 Zulu fall in the first volley, but they come on, screaming Yusathu, Setchweo's war cry. British fire discipline holds until the ammunition runs dry. Boxes screwed shut with bureaucratic paranoia. Quartermasters fumble keys as the line buckles. A young lieutenant, Henry Essex, waves a sword. Steady, lads. A Zulu spear finds his throat. By noon, the horns close. Auxiliaries flee. Redcoats form squares, but the Zulus swarm like ants on honey. Carbines jam in the heat. Bayonets clash with Ikawas in the dust. Colonel Anthony Durnford, galloping from the left, rallies a last stand with 400 horsemen, but it is futile. Spears rain like hail. Durnford falls, hacked apart. Chelmsford's camp becomes a slaughter pen. 1,329 dead. Zulu casualties, perhaps 2,000. And Chingweo halts the pursuit. We've won, but at what cost? That evening, the same impi, bloody but unbroken, turns west. 4,000 strong, led by the reckless Dabulamanzi. They thirst for more. Rorke's Drift, a mission station turned hospital. 150 souls hold it. Engineers, infantry, and a handful of wounded. Lieutenants John Chard and Gonville Bromhead brace for impact. At 6 p.m., the storm breaks. Waves of warriors crash the walls, torches arcing through smoke. Fire low, independent. Chard shouts. Martini Henry's thunder point blank. Private John Williams hacks a Zulu from a roof with an axe. Surgeon Reynolds drags the wounded through gore. 12 hours of nightmare. Flames, screams, and steel. At dawn, the bugle sounds ceasefire. Smoke clears. 351 Zulu lie dead. 17 British wounded, none killed. 11 Victoria Crosses awarded. The most for any single action. 2 battles. 1 day. Zulu thunder meets British anvil. London erupts. Isanluana? Disaster. Queen Victoria demands answers. Chelmsford, pale and shaken, cables for 10,000 reinforcements. Gatling guns, rockets, lancers. Freres dream of Federation rods, but vengeance blinds them. March. Zulus strike back. Entombed ambush drowns supply column. Globane Hill. 800 mounted men shredded by hidden impis. But British caution hardens. April 2nd, Jinjinlovu. Chelmsford's Iron Square. 5,000 bayonets. Faces 11,000 Zulus. Shell scream. Zulus charge. August. Setchweo is captured in the thorn thicket. Chained and exiled to Cape Town. His kingdom carved into 13 puppet chiefdoms. Civil war erupts, brother against brother. The Zulu spirit fractured. Freres recalled in disgrace. Chelmsford, knighted, fades into history. But the true scar remains. The empire's myth of invincibility lies shattered. Within decades, Zulu lands feed the mines of South Africa, the road to apartheid paved in Isanluana's dust. Today, the fields whisper. Rorke's Drift is a manicure museum. Isanluana, a windswept vigil. White cairns for the redcoats, red clay for the impis. Guides from both bloodlines walk side by side. Here, spears met steel and neither won clean. What if Setchweo had bought those smuggled rifles? What if Frere had waited for London's nod? History is a horned beast, full of what-ifs. The Zulu taught the world. Empires bleed too. If this fire in the belly stirred you, subscribe. This is only the beginning. Next, the Africa's World War II, the Second Congo Cataclysm, 5 million ghosts in the jungle,